Welcome to Tekidia Daily. I'm the BC Ekekwe. Today we'll be discussing scalable advantage and also try to quantify, to understand how essentially you can build your scalable advantage in your company. Scalable advantage looks at the construct of your capacity to grow your business. It looks at the basic elements which are critical for you to turn that business from zero customer base to thousands and millions of customers. There are many factors, of course, that will necessarily affect your capacity to do that. The first section, you look at the external factors. What is the size of the economy? What is the industry of operation? And what are the regulations? The size of the economy, of course, is a ceiling in some specific industries. If you don't have the people, there is no way you can sell to people you don't have. And it's also the same thing if they don't have money, of course, there's a limitation on what you can actually get from them. So there are some industries that are not just easily for someone to scale. If you are running a well business, your ability can also be better than someone who is running a mining business. The regulation of the country is also a factor. But now we'll be looking into the internal factors. What is your marginal cost? What is that extra cost? What is the cost of getting that extra user? And when you look at the marginal cost, you're looking at the cost of goods sold. You're looking at the distribution cost. You're looking at your transaction cost. Of course, if you are running an e-commerce business, especially in most parts of Africa, like Play Nigeria, you're looking at the distribution cost. It's not just the cost of goods sold. It's not the transaction cost alone. You're looking at the distribution cost. So, if that distribution cost becomes exceedingly very high, it would then make it very difficult for you to scale. That is the reason why most of the e-commerce companies in our region, they always serve most of the mega cities. They don't say, okay, you're living in Abia State and here we are in Lagos. If you buy this product, we can ship it to your village. Because they know that the distribution cost imposes a restriction on what they can do. So that marginal cost becomes a key element to quantifying your capacity to be scalable. When it goes very high, you begin to essentially bound your geographical area of operation. You also have the distribution channel. What channel are you distributing your products? When you're distributing your product to the internet, of course, it means that you are reaching the global market. If you are just distributing your products within the vicinity of where you live, you are bounded by the number of people you can address. We also have what is the supply platform? How are you creating the products that you are selling? What is the supply pipeline? In other words, Google is an aggregator. It doesn't really create most of the products, most of the content that it makes money from. Facebook is an aggregator. People just populate information about themselves to Facebook. And Facebook now feeds on that data, aggregating that data, now bringing suppliers who actually now pay in order for Facebook to show their contents to you. If you are running a business like that, you don't have to create any content. It means your scalability becomes largely unbounded. You just see that people create the content, you don't make money on it. But if you are the one that has to create that content, you begin to have some challenges. So your scalable advantage may not necessarily be high. So I put some figures on this. When you have a scalable advantage, that is one, it means you are like Google, Facebook, who can demonstrate a very low marginal cost because getting an extra user in Facebook and Google doesn't cost them anything. They have the distribution channel, which is basically internet, and they have the supply pipeline, which is unbounded because people create the content. Or it could be like a paid printed book, which means that you have to deliver physical goods. The scalable advantage is very low. I'll give it 0 just for the case of this analysis. And then you have a mobile app, which is always very cheaper, which can be distributed globally. I give it a marginal, a scalable advantage of 0.1. So it's in between the very worst and the very best. So, but you also have to understand, as I've noted, that let me show you the plot where I just put this thing in picture. So you see Google is here, Facebook is here, Instagram is here. They are one. They can scale fast. They don't have any marginal cost problem. Distribution cost is low and marginal cost is largely zero. And of course, they also enjoy the fact they are in a very big large market. Regulation has already been sorted out. Now you have a iWeather, which people can buy for about $1.99 more on the Android store and the iOS store. What happens here is that it's really very affordable. And then you have the printed books, which are physical things. You have to pay, you have to ship. That means these companies cannot scale as fast as this. And this one cannot necessarily scale as it because this one is zero fee. So that's just what is scalable advantage. So for you, it's question of where do you stay? Are you tending towards one, which is the best possible model, or are you tending towards zero? But there is a caution. The fact that you have a scalable advantage of one does not necessarily mean you are running a very good business, because in the essence of making money, scale has to be put in context. Monetization is the key. If you have the best possible traffic and you cannot generate revenue from it, it means that you may not really be running a good business. I give an example. The Wall Street Journal is a subscription-based magazine. You need to pay for you to have access to that newspaper or that magazine. Now, Wall Street Journal doesn't have the highest possible number of users it would have had if Wall Street Journal has made all this content free. But Wall Street Journal is generating a very healthy revenue because its contents are paid, but this traffic is not necessarily large. So you could say that the Wall Street Journal has no scale or this capacity in traffic, but that's irrelevant. But what is happening at Wall Street Journal is scaling this capacity of revenue. So it doesn't make sense, like we actually experienced in my blog, Itekidia. We said, okay, we have subscription base for our books. So we wake up every morning, see people trying to read a book for free. But now we know that, hey, you have to pay. And suddenly they stop. Some of them stop. Now, if we have just focused on building traffic, we would have made the book free. Of course, more people will be reading it. But the money we make, that $20 people pay per year to have access to our paid content, we would have actually lost that opportunity. So you have to consider what scale means to you with regards to monetization. I call it abundance, diminishing abundance of internet, that you can have more users and at the same time you'll be making less money. So it's very critical to quantify that. Now I ask you a question. What is your scalable advantage? Where are you? Here or here? I hope that you are attending to one. You are listening to the Media Daily.